So this was completely unplanned. I put the PowerPoint together yesterday, so pardon if it doesn't look as aesthetic as it could be. I was planning on doing this a few weeks from now. We just had our grand opening last week. The governor and other dignitaries who are not on my speed dial came, and I think a few of you were probably there. So I am, in fact, an ODU alum, graduated 2007, spent 5.5 semi-miserable years in suit and tie at Merrill Lynch. Co-founded Cure Coffee House and Brasserie in downtown Norfolk on a cobblestone street, beautiful location. We've been open just over 5.5 years now, and that showed me this other realm of entrepreneurship on a much smaller scale than what I'm interested in today. And resigned from Merrill Lynch and had like 40 hours more time on my hands, so I decided to use that and go out to Louisville, Kentucky and get an entrepreneurship MBA, which yes, they do exist, and this was a fantastic, just absolutely awesome program. Traveled the country, did 8 business plan competitions like Shark Tank stuff, won $40,000 and non-dilutive investment for a failed tech startup. Which is quite all right. I'm of the camp that believes that failure is good and failing fast is way better. So we just wrapped that up a few weeks ago, and we all just dispersed after the program throughout the country and just didn't have time in our lives to continue with it. Did a few consulting projects there as well, and decided to move back here and become an active participant in our entrepreneurial ecosystem. I grew up in Smithfield, so this is definitely my home. Go to the next slide. So the mission of this innovation center is to provide a place and programming for scalable, high-growth, innovation-driven entrepreneurs and startups in the region. There are lots of resources that seem to be very good at helping smaller businesses, SMEs, lifestyle businesses, like a coffee shop, to get up and running and grow. But not too many things are out there for the Ubers and the Facebooks and stuff. And we do have a few very high potential, actually dozens that I've identified, high potential companies in the area that if we had more programming and resources specific for those that delineate the difference between SMEs and IDEs, innovation-driven enterprises, they would have a lot. That potential we could harness that potential and get some of those big names right here in Southeast Virginia. Go to the next one. Again, I put this together really fast, so I don't even really know what's on here. I really need to drive the point of the innovation-driven startups because that is our focus. That is the reason that it exists. Our mission is to support them. But part of that mission, we've got a grander vision, which comes from above, and I'm trying to execute, of putting in service providers that support in one way or another those sort of high growth, scalable, innovation-driven entrepreneurs and startups. So that can be web designers, graphic designers, growth hackers, even lawyers and accountants who have a specific focus on those types of businesses and work in more of a consultative, maybe giving before you get sort of capacity, because obviously startups don't have a lot of money. So you've got to be pretty flexible to work with these folks. And we have some co-working space available. Right now it's $100 a month. That's probably going to have to go up at some point in time, which is quite counter to what you hear. You should start high and then come down. But we're a publicly funded institution, so I think we have a little more flexibility than startups do. We are currently hosting the iOS and Google meetup groups, and I would like to host a lot more of those types of meetups. Again, supporting that community, and that's really what it is about. And we've been in a soft opening phase since, how much time do I have? We're good? Okay. We've been in a soft opening phase since I'd say April or May, And then the grand opening was last week, but in that soft opening phase, we've really seen that community start to build. You bring in these brilliant people, more or less, with very creative minds and working on very creative projects. And the conversation is just fascinating, where it gravitates toward, how it bounces around, and the ideas that people come with. Sometimes that may be grandiose, but I think that is really where innovation exists, outside of the norm, right? So go to the next slide. Here's some pictures of what we have. Here's your friend David Leon. He's got an office there, and he's a client. And he's got a little lounge space. This is sort of the co-working space that you're looking, or part of it that you're looking at right there. And I don't know if you know Lisa White and Maria Jacovitas from Route 247. They were working there yesterday. Next slide. A few more pictures. Here's some more of the open co-working space. That's Akosia. She's our staff member, sort of a part-time PhD student at ODU. And some more of the co-working space. Next slide. So I taught myself SketchUp last week because David Kern, who some of you might know, has some IKEA furniture, and I didn't know if it was going to fit. So I took the longest way around to figure out how it was going to fit. And this isn't representing all the furniture. It's got some work to do, but I'm being innovative. Right? Looking at this, if you guys have any questions about the use of the space, I want to make this sort of a workshop seminar room, but I haven't quite decided on that yet. Next slide. So I know you're supposed to end these presentations here with how you can help us. Join the community, which kind of, I don't know what that means yet, right? Just get involved, come talk to me, come visit. I'm a one-man show there, pretty much, leaning a lot on our clients and co-workers to do activity, bring people in, bring eyes on it. If you know friends, we're trying to build this community more organically than just like send out mass emails and here's real estate for really cheap for anybody who wants to rent it. That's not the idea. I think if we build the community more organically and you bring in people who you really think fit this sort of model, then we'll be more successful quicker. So built a website. It kind of sucks. Working on that. Not even got a button where you can submit your email. So if any of you are truly interested in getting involved in the evolution of this thing, please leave your business card and I'll make sure that you get into our MailChimp, which we're currently in the process of setting up and should probably blast out an email by the end of the week or early next week. And come down and visit. We're right here at the corner of Bush and York Street in downtown Norfolk. It is the York Street parking garage. I should probably add Norfolk partnered with ODU to bring this to fruition. They gave us this space that used to be Parks and Rec space, and we've turned it into something a lot more creative, so to speak. But I'll let you be the judge of that. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah.